Hey everyone, it's Zora and I am back with a new video, and today I'm going to be showing you my UCS clock tower from The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, which I did finally play and complete, which it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game. I definitely recommend it to anybody. But this is a UCS set, which means it comes with a ton of minifigures and accessories. It's been a second since the last video I've made, but it is November, which means Zelda month. No matter what Peanut Butter Gamer says, it will always be Zelda month in my eyes. So I'm here, and let's get right into this video. Starting out with not the minifigures. Okay, this is a side build which I literally just built prior to filming this video right now. It is a tent. It's in the game, obviously. It's a tent from Indiana Jones, which I kind of integrated into this build of, I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be, probably just a tent thing for the Carnival of Time, I think is what it is in the game. On the roof, we have a guy who oftentimes you can find standing and looking up at the clock tower. Don't see it. But on the inside, there's nothing. But you can, it does come with this little thing that can go inside. It's called a treasure chest, I know that. Inside of the treasure chest, we have a heart piece, which of course also exists in the game Majora's Mask, so that kind of makes sense. So yeah, it's just a cool little side build, because I like cool little side builds. If you know me, then that will be something that you know as well. Moving on to the main event at last. So starting out, as you can see, here is the door. It is built sort of as a side, so I could integrate all of the cool designs, which I'm very happy with. The inside obviously exists. It's not as good as the actual inside of the clock tower in the game, but I'll show you that in a second. The banners are hanging down here. First, I was just gonna have to be able to have 3, but then I found I could use holy studs, that's what they're called, very official, to attach them not on a brick, but on half of a brick, if that makes sense. Now, obviously, this space, and this space should be the same, but unfortunately, to be able to do this technique, this space is a little bit bigger. Very technical stuff, but moving around to the sides, we have this little nubbin, as you say, and it pulls in and out, and I'll show you that in a second, but the designs are one of the hardest and most pronounced things in the set, and at first I was not going to have these designs going throughout the entirety of the build, but then I looked at reference, as you have to, and I realized they do exist, and they're pretty clearly there. They're not super, like, pronounced as they are here, but they're definitely there, and I think it would be sad if I was going to build a gigantic set like this and just not, you know, do one of the key features, and that was definitely one of the hardest things to keep consistent, but I think it turned out pretty well. At first I was just going to use slopes back when I didn't think about these designs, but then I realized I had to have a way to integrate the design onto these, you know, slopes, so I had to basically experiment, and there's a really intricate sort of design work here, where it's sloping as it goes. It's hard to explain. I'll just show you. So here you have it sort of deconstructed, and you can basically just see how it's done. If you have any questions, I'll always be in the comment section. So here we have the bricks that, you know, were on it, and as you can see, they go on. If you do that first, it'll be hard, so you go like that, and then you add as you do, until you have it like that, and then you get these pieces and you stick them there. And when I came up with this design, this was kind of the deciding factor where, like, if I could find a design like this, then I would definitely continue these, you know, designs again throughout the entirety of the build, which, as you can see, I did end up doing. So here is the design, and on the back, it's the most obvious and clear because there isn't any clocks in the way. It's very nice, I would say. Just going off the reference, basically. And then let's just go on to the actual clock bits. So here are one of the gears. I don't think this is actually a clock, it's a gear that turns the clock, which is right here. Look at it, it's so beautiful. And it does spin, as you would expect. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to get it like that, but I did end up getting it to work. The technique, basically, I'm just gonna pull it off. There you go. This piece right here is the thing that really makes it strong enough to spin and also do what else it needs to be doing. And I have 3 different shades. I'm not sure if it's coming up on camera, but there's 3 different shades of blue. The normal blue, the normal blue's here, matzo blue, and then we have this cool looking blue and another blue. I don't know the technical terms, but they are 3 different blues. This piece in the middle, very important, and I think it turned out pretty well. Let's just reattach it. The only reason I didn't show you that on camera was because I need 2 hands for it. Pretty simple, but still. And then, of course, we have the gear, which does not spin, for a reason I'll show you in a second. These black pieces shouldn't actually be black pieces. They should be, in the game, if you play the game, then you can see that these black pieces are pretty clearly just supposed to be there, so the shape of the gear is clear. But I decided to be loyal to what the game is showing rather than what the game is implying, and build this. The other side is exactly the same, and pretty cool. Up here we have this bit, which if you've seen the mushroom cloud video I made, this is built out of that. It originally was just dark bluish gray, but then of course with the designs I had to go back and redo it. Very happy with how it turned out, because I had no idea exactly how I would build the rest of it. So I just built this, and then I kind of based the rest of it around it, and it turned out perfectly. This is 1-to-1 scale, though. I know I told you that the Garuda Fortress was 1-to-1 scale. It was a little bit smaller than 1-to-1 scale. This is exactly 1-to-1 scale. I checked it a billion times, so it is. Here on the very top, we can have Skull Kid being mean to Link, as he does. But now it's time to show you a day in the life of Link. At the beginning of the day, the doors open to reveal Deku Scrub Link coming out. He looks at his flower and is very sad because that's what Deku Scrubs do. Apparently, he doesn't know because he's never been a Deku Scrub before. He throws the flower away because he does not care about it anymore. A dog comes because dogs hate Deku Scrubs because of prejudice. He outruns the dog, and then a big side quest goes by, which I'm not going to talk about here because I don't have the time. So he jumps into a new property that he owns, and he flies because properties make you fly, apparently. He lands, and he sees a heart piece, which he gets, and is very happy because it makes him happy. And that's the life of a day in the life of a Deku Scrub. But for the sake of argument, let's say 2 more days go by. So 2 more days go by. That's the sound of Tays going by. And then it's the last hour of the last day of the 3rd day. And what happens on the last of the 3rd of the day of the last of the 3rd day? Well, you grab this firmly, you pull it up, and you set it on its side. Pretty crazy, right? Then you push this, and sometimes it doesn't work, and then you push it, and whoa, doors revealed themselves. He walks up, and he walks all the way to the top. What's happening up here? That's right, it's Skull Kid. Oh no, shoot. And then Deku Scrub Link appears on the top, and Skull Kid's up here, woo woo. And then he notices, oh no, Skull Kid has the Ocarina of Time. So he spits because he's very rude, and then that makes Skull Kid lose his grip, and the Ocarina of Time falls down. So he goes and he picks up the Ocarina of Time, and apparently in this version it does not turn into a giant tuba, because why would it turn into a giant tuba? That doesn't make any sense. So he plays the Ocarina of Time very well. You can see right there. And then, it reverses time. And what does that do? Well, that undoes everything, because that's what reversing time does. So you push it back, and then that takes a while. You have to pull these things out. But nonetheless, then he goes to the Happy Mask Salesman, and the Happy Mask Salesman turns him back into Link, but then he gets angry at Link, and so on and so forth. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So yes, that is the biggest feature of the set, is how you can pull this whole thing and turn it to the side, and just like in the game. That took a very long time, and I did it again and again and again, over and over. Even months after I actually finished it, I continued to work on this and tinker, and I'm happy with how it turned out. It could be better. I'm sure if like an actual LEGO designer designed it, it would be more smooth and there would be less hiccups along the way. Like you saw this first time, sometimes it doesn't even go down because you have to kind of like push it a little bit harder. Stuff like that, as well as This is the first big thing that falls down, and this is the second, and obviously the second one doesn't have the design. It should technically have the design. I tried to have it, it doesn't have a design, but unfortunately, I just didn't have the parts, and you don't really see it for very long, so it's alright. But now I want to show you the interior, which isn't very cool, but I think you deserve to see it nonetheless. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Okay. Alright, maybe not the best idea. Oh god, I think I broke something in there. I'll work on that later. Anyway, here's the interior. I basically used it as a house for all of the old LEGO Legend of Zelda things I've built that are maybe somewhat destroyed. Like here you have Stalnox, something from Twilight Princess. Very cool. I didn't want to destroy it, but it doesn't really have a home anymore. You also have Bongo Bongo. You have the original King of Red Lions that I had, as well as a Ganondorf, the old Ganondorf that I had a long time ago. This used to actually be a smaller version of the clock that I built when I was very, very young. But obviously, this is the new one. I actually used some of the parts on it for the new one, which is kind of poetic, I suppose. You actually have two of those. I built it twice. Goma there, and, you know, just other miscellaneous stuff, I suppose. Here's the design for the thing. So at first it's like this, and you have things all about, and then when you push it, then they fall down into a shape. Not the most interesting, but I think you should know that also the interior isn't entirely made up of, you know, like 1x2s and such. There's a lot of just miscellaneous parts that on the outside look great, but then on the inside, you know, you're not going to see them. So that's continued into the tower. You know, they're not smooth in any sense of the word, but they're available, and so they work. Next up, we have the minifigures. Minifigures are very important to any LEGO set, contrary to what UCS LEGO Star Wars designers may suggest. We have a ton of them here, so let's just get right into it. So we have a dog. It comes from a LEGO minifigure series dog trainer guy. This dog is very important to this area. He jumps around and, you know, interacts with Link in all sorts of different ways. Not that many different ways, if we're being honest. But next up, we have this guy. He's a worker. He came from my Gerudo Valley area. His face comes from a LEGO Harry Potter Fantastic Beasts minifigure. Nice afro and a big body that comes from an old LEGO Pirate set. Here we have a guy who's good at standing on things. His head is an old Ron head, and we have LEGO elves, hairpiece and ears. Works very well. We have this very, very, very beautiful soldier, which I'm very proud of. We have the legs come from Europe. In the real world, they come from Europe. They come from a sports series. Nice soldier body and a head that is actually from Spider-Man Homecoming, of all things, along with a very nice Roman helmet. Then we have the Lynx here, which I took a ton of time to research and find what bodies and stuff would be the best. Deku Link is probably the last minifigure which will use a custom built head. I think it just works very well with the new sort of like half-quarter round pieces, as well as this little piece. I think it just works very, very well. Just a normal brown legs and such. This is a little tunic that comes from Poison Ivy, as well as he has a nice little flower to be sad with. And when he doesn't have his head, then his whole body falls over. So there's his head, and now he's balanced. The head can also work well as just a transformation mask if you want to take it off, which is nice. We have a minifigure version of Fierce Deity, which is something you may not have expected from me, seeing as how I made a brick-built Fierce Deity and boasted that it was to scale, because, you know, obviously the real Fierce Deity is quite taller, but I think he works very well and is very cool because oftentimes you don't even see how tall he is, so you don't really get a sense of it, and also he's not actually as tall as the brick-built one that I built. But we have some very nice dual molding in the legs and the arms, which is very important. LEGO, take notes. I don't know why I'm saying that. I mean, these are LEGO pieces, so... but then we have this torso, which comes from a... what's it called? One of those galaxy space lines. We have a Nexonite sword, which is not as perfect as the actual, you know, in-game model of the double helix sword, but I think it works very well as a proxy. We have another Fantastic Beasts LEGO minifigure series head, funnily enough, for those eyes, which I find to be the most important part. Unfortunately, the other side does not have those eyes, but it's very important to have those eyes, so I included those eyes. We have this hairpiece, which is very nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the thing coming off at the end, his hat, or his ears, but it's white and it works. Okay. Next up, we have this guy right here, Zora Link. Very happy with him. He has a Zebra Man head from LEGO Batman minifigures series. We have these Ice Queen arms with a very good print for the sort of fin things. And then we have a Frozone body. These dual-molded legs, which come from a Arabian Night minifigure. The same Poison Ivy thing as the rest of them, as well as this very nice hat. As well as these nice little fins that do come off, obviously. These are actually just... Oh, man. These are actually just teeth, as I'm sure you could have assumed. And you have the main event, Link himself, who has a custom stickered mirror shield piece, which, if you want to know about, I have a link in the description for a, tips video for making your own stickers. We have a nice sword, a nice head, which comes from Boba Fett young version. His other face is not very good for Link, but this face is very good for Link, so I use it. We have a Peter Pan hairpiece in which I carefully cut off the red bit, which is nice. We also have this piece, the tunic little attachment from the LEGO cartoon series? Looney Tunes, that's what it's called. Alright. And then, of course, very lastly of the links, very lastly, very interesting phrasing from me, I suppose, we have Goron Link. He has some fiery punches, because he does have fiery punches. He has this turtle shell from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the same tunic as the rest, as well as this piece from LEGO Chima. That's what it's called. It took me like 20 seconds. We have this ahead as well. It's the young Vitruvius from a movie DVD set thing, I suppose. This is a very beautiful version of the one and only Happy Mask Salesman. The torso is from The Hobbit. The face is from Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. I was almost going to say Game Theory for a second there. His turnaround face is not as good. If you can see it. Oh my god. Okay. Here is the turnaround face. Not as good for him, but good enough. This version is very good enough. So it's good. We have a backpack here. No masks attached currently, but it is very big. Opens up. A retired LEGO piece, so it might be a few cents on Bricklink, unfortunately. Setting that aside. Here we have the mask. Here we have everybody's favorite character of all time, Tingle. He has a nice mustachioed face. We have this nice thing, backpack thing. We have a nice map, and another nice thing as well, a little brush to make the map, as well as this torso, which is just a LEGO City torso. Most of it is based off of Brick 101's fantastic design, but I decided to change it a little bit. I feel like the mustacheness is very important to his character, even though he does not have exactly the same mustache as this mustache, but nonetheless, that's enough about mustaches. Here we have the one and only Skull Kid, aka the guy who has Majora's Mask on. Right here we have glow-in-the-dark pieces used for the eyes, so it glows in the dark. Very cool, I would say. But also you could get this version, which has just the holes in the eyes, and it's more accurate in general, but then the glowing feature I feel like is very cool as well, so I like to keep it one or the other changes. Here we have a piece from Ninjago, snake body thing, and a hat built up here. I believe I did a showcase on the majority of this. I did change it recently with the corner in dark purple that I ordered, which I think is very, very good piece for Majora's Mask, and I'm very happy with this Majora's Mask. Unless it's an actual official Lego Majora's Mask, I feel like this is going to be the best Majora's Mask ever. That's a lot of Majora's Mask. Here's the actual Majora's Mask, which is a very, very fantastic game. I did end up playing right after the last video I made, and it's great. I did get this version hoping to play it, but then I found out it was Japanese, and at first I, was just gonna go through it in Japanese, but then I realized that's a dumb idea, so I got it on the Wii U eShop. Very good, very happy that it's coming to the Switch eShop. It's just so fast-paced, and it's so fun, and there's so much to do, and there's so much to to have fun with. If you want to watch a live stream of it, I do not have one, but I would recommend DB Geek's playthrough of it because he is a very funny man. So some parts of it actually reminded me of the Lego games. You're switching between characters so you could access different points, and that's basically a big deal of the Lego games. But with Majora's Mask, obviously you are switching through with the masks, which is very fun in places, especially the Pirates hideout area. Very good music there too as well. So yeah, I almost forgot about the accessories, but I did not, so that's very cool. Here of course we have shield, sword, already talked about those, heart piece, already talked about that. We have this very beautiful mask, it's the Bremen mask from Majora's Mask, and it is a mask that was used not as a mask, as a matter of fact, or should I say as a masker of fact. That was terrible. But it was used in Shima as part of the head thing. It is perfect for the Bremen mask. If not a little bit, the eyes are too far apart, so Link can only have one eye while wearing it, but that's fair enough. One of the best Majora's Mask masks in Lego, and so I decided to include it. Here we have a golden bow, which is supposed to represent the golden bow from Majora's Mask. Obviously, you can also use it as the Bow of Light from Twilight Princess, or the Bow of Light from Breath of the Wild, but it is also works very good for this game. We also have the hook shot, golden hook shot. Not sure why everything's so very much golden in this game, but it is. Maybe because the cartridge is golden. Who knows? And then of course we have the Ocarina of Time. Not my design. I found it on Google Images, scrolling as you do. You know, from time to time you just gotta Google Lego Legend of Zelda and see what comes up. So I found this very cool. Shout out to who I think probably on Reddit was where I actually found like the link on Google Images, but yes, those are the accessories included. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I enjoyed making this video. And as for you know, the channel, as you say, it is Zelda month, so you know I cannot resist making at least one more of these beautiful videos. But I very much enjoyed making this video, as I already said. Don't know why I'm restating it. Sometimes people restate things, and I am doing that right now. It's been a long time. I built this back in 2019 after playing the game, as you may have heard already. I have an Instagram now. I do. It's called the Lego Zora, as you could expect. Same profile picture and everything. I actually posted this like a while back on Instagram because I didn't exactly know I was going to be making this video. But I'm glad I did, and I'm glad that I can get this out to my subscribers, which, by the way, thank you for all the subscribers. Very much appreciated. And also, very important, hylian.bricks and bgoldbricks are two very cool people. I met them on Instagram, and we made a podcast together a while back. The Podcast of Time is what it is called. I am there, as well as bgoldbricks and hylian.bricks. They're both talented creators. bgoldbricks is the master of memes. He has a YouTube channel which will far surpass anything that I will ever get. And hylian.bricks also has a YouTube channel where he's making a animation in which me and bgoldbricks and hylian.bricks are voice actors, along with a bunch of other awesome, talented people. We formed the Groose Gang together, and that's what we call ourselves, the Groose Gang. And we also call ourselves the Triforce Trio, but that's beside the point. Nonetheless, we have quite a few podcasts out now. I made a community post about it. I'm enjoying everything that we're doing over there. I'm also making an animation for hylian.bricks' channel. It is very cool, but it's not done, and I don't know when it'll be done. So that's a lot of stuff that you didn't need to know, but now you do know, and I hope that it made your life different. I don't know. Yeah, I've been up to a lot of buildings. That's a weird way of phrasing it. I've been up to building a lot of Lego things over the past 2 years. It's not like I just stopped building things. It's just that I stopped uploading things because of high school, which is high school. Just so y'all know, I'm putting this YouTube channel as an activity on my common application for college. So you're all part of me applying to college. So you should pat yourself on the back. Thank you all. that's it, I guess. I hope you enjoyed these minifigures. I enjoyed building these minifigures. I hope you enjoyed this build. I enjoyed building this build. It took a long time. My room was entirely destroyed while I was building this. Like, it was on the floor, just building up bit by bit. This is the tallest thing I've ever built in LEGO, and I believe it's taller than some of the other tall buildings that LEGO has made, but thank you. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Subscribe if you like this video, and hit the like button if you don't want to see more videos like this. If you have any comments or questions at all, please leave them all in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Yeah, so I guess this is it, my man. I don't know what I'm doing now.